Everybody, this is Todd Obert, President and CEO of Productive Corporation, joined here alongside me with a scrub brush in hand, Pete Greco, our VP of Sales and Technology. He is going to talk to you about the cloud version of that cleaning brush and what we call CCleaner Cloud. Very excited to show you this product. As you know, we've been huge advocates of CCleaner for the fact that it cleans the crud out of your system, the first C in CCleaner. Today, it should be CCC Cleaner, right? CCleaner, crud cloud cleaner. I like that. Maybe I should go into marketing, but that is an aside. We are going to hop fast and furious into our demo today, but first, we meet Productive in 1 minute. Then we will get into the demo. We will talk a little bit about software we love at the end, and we have Q&A throughout. And if you have been to our events in the past, you know, utilize that chat feature. We love questions. Pete loves to hem and haw, so as technical as you can get, bring it on. He seems to really enjoy perspiring. But with that, let's hop in here and meet Productive in 1 minute or less. Well, who is Productive Corporation, saith you? Well, I am so glad you asked. Productive is a security and storage software expert for mid-sized companies. We have a dedicated staff that can help you with service, licensing, help you understand what is going on in your environment so you don't have to navigate that World Wide Web all on your own. We also offer services to implement, test, and optimize the products that we sell. We do security assessments. We do penetration tests. We do an endpoint health check as well as UTM config and assistance services. We also produce third-party content, all for the mid-market, a knowledge series which talks about current threats to date. You find this at productivecorp.com/content, as well as our YouTube channel. The bottom line is we have the resources to help you. Help at productivecorp.com, whether it's implementation, assistance, configuration, or licensing, we're here to help you. That is what we do. Call us, email us, we want to help you. And one of the ways that we help you is by talking about the products we represent and products we think that are relevant for the mid-market environment. We are talking about stuff, right, that we test and use ourselves that we think really makes a lot of sense and helps to make your day more effective, more secure, and easier. So all that in a nutshell. So today, if you tuned in at the top of the broadcast, you heard that we have Pete Greco, our VP of Sales and Technology. He is, brushing his teeth, and when he's not brushing his teeth, he's securing the world and cleaning it up with CCleaner Cloud. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a warm virtual gurgle for Pete Greco. Pete?
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody, for...
Just all the gurgling coming across there. You can't stop it.
That sounds exactly like the tooth cleaning I received from the dentist this morning. Yeah, so thanks everybody for hopping on with us. We'll give you a real quick look at CCleaner Cloud. Todd, if I can please get, there we go. I knew he'd give me control if I asked nicely. Let me know if you are looking at my CCleaner Cloud console.
I am.
Fantastic. So, folks, we're still really predominantly standardized here on the CCleaner Network Professional on-premise edition that we are running pretty much on all of our production machines. The CCleaner Cloud product has been out of beta. I've been testing this with, you can see I've got a group of machines. Notice the different IP address. These are all my personal machines at home, and you can see that while I'm at work, they're all turned off. Or some of them, in the unfortunate case of Pink Floyd, have gone by the wayside. Right, but this is my actual production machine, and the IP address has changed to my current location, which is at the Productive Corp offices. So much like the on-prem version, maybe you're not familiar that they have one. What both of these products do to get you to the next level beyond the free version or the consumer version is give you control over multiple machines, give you the capability to do some scheduling, so that rather than waiting for someone to complain about a slow machine, you're actually running this every Friday or every Wednesday or every day or however often you want to do it, so that you're keeping those machines at a good base level, and it's giving you some nice capabilities. Now, for anybody familiar with the on-premise version, they know that you can see all of your machines together. You can group them out. You can go into any one machine and get some individual information. Now, new to the cloud product are these three tabs here. What most folks are going to be familiar with from the free version or the consumer edition is the actual CCleaner tab and probably the defragler tab. And this is very similar to how it looks in the on-premise version as well. I can do my regular CCleaning, right? And looky here, they've added stuff for Microsoft Edge. I don't really use that, but I'm going to go ahead and check all of those boxes on. That's okay with me because I use a password manager, so I'm not saving my passwords there anyway, right? And anything that I check on now is going to become a part of the default scanning. I can also hop over to applications, which is going to pick up some additional stuff. I'm going to get saved passwords there and in Chrome as well, so that I can not only keep my machine running fast, but get rid of stuff that can put me at cyber risk here. And I can go ahead and run an analyze now. And I'm just doing this on my local machine. If I had my other boxes on, though, I could do this on any 2 machines, 5 machines, the entire group of machines, right? I have that capability. Now, what I like to do is schedule these to run so that I'm not coming in here and doing it manually. Typically, what I see on a scan for both products is really about a 1 to 2 minute scan time, typically, and then the clean time, usually about 40% of that. So if the scanning gets done in a minute, then a lot of times we'll see that cleaning happening in sub 30 seconds, which is nice and quick. I've also got my registry, so I can scan here for registry issues. The tool section, again, very similar to what you see in the paid versions, whether it's the consumer product or in the on-premise version. Gives you some capabilities to do some system restores, rolling back things, run the drive wiper, which is basically getting rid of data that's been deleted for good or for real. I've got some options. This is where I can come in and set my schedule. I can also whitelist cookies, so maybe one of the cookies that I don't want to get rid of is anything from CCleaner Cloud here, right? And I can add that in so that this cookie will not get deleted. And what that helps me do is, if I have any websites, I see a lot of folks doing this with kind of a catch-all news site, entertainment site, where it's giving you your sports scores, your stock information, maybe headlines from CNN or USA Today or one of these things, and you don't want to reset that up every time you go to that site. That's where you can, and that stuff all gets stored in a cookie. That's where you can create that. I can also do any custom locations that I want to scan and clean. I can exclude any locations that CCleaner gets by default, and I can make sure to get all the users, not just the logged in user, which is what you're limited to with the free version. We've also got our defragging here. Now, I have a solid state drive, so I'm not going to do any defragging on this thing because it wears those out, right? But on your traditional disk, now you can control that and stay on top of it from one easy location. Let's hop back and see where we're at. I might have paused that by hopping around there. We'll come back and see where we're at and see if there's anything for us to clean. Now, some additional things that they've thrown in that I really am finding interesting here. On the summary tab, you can get some information on a specific machine. What I really kind of like is the ability to see my task manager information right from here, so I can see how much bandwidth I'm using, how much memory is getting used. So if someone's having an issue, rather than just hopping right into running the CCleaner, we can actually do a little bit of investigation here and kind of see what is taking up the memory, what's utilizing the CPU, and this kind of info. So now I can plus that out, and now I can start really drilling in and seeing a little more information about the CPU, about the RAM, right, so on and so forth.
Hey, Pete.
See what events have been caused? Yeah.
So is there any reason that you would still need the on-prem product, or is it, I mean, there are certain situations cloud better? Could cloud effectively replace the on-prem product?
Yeah, so right now, the cloud is a little bit easier to deploy to people that are not on the network. For folks that are on the network, though, the on-prem product is a little bit easier to deploy. It has a built-in deployment piece where you can push it out from your central management server to all of the endpoints. What you won't get with the on-prem product, though, is any visibility on machines that are out of the office. With the cloud product, you'll actually be able to run these settings and see all this information as long as a machine is connected to the internet. Does not matter where they're at. Over time, I believe that we're going to see a lot more features and a lot more capabilities in the CCleaner Cloud product. And once the parity and beyond point is reached, I think the reason that folks might still like the on-prem solution is if they have limited internet connectivity to specific machines. And the on-prem product would give you the capability to scan and clean machines that don't have any internet access at all. Maybe they're firewalled off internally, or this kind of thing. Still plenty of folks out there that just simply do not like the cloud, right? And if you feel that way, on-prem is a great solution to take a look at. What this stuff does, though, and provides should not scare you away from taking a look at it, though, even if you are cloud leery. We'll say. From an agent standpoint, the agent is very similar. It's still very headless. There's really nothing that the end user can do. So the end user is not going to be able to launch a console like this. There's nothing that they can launch in the on-prem product. They can't do anything themselves. And the agent is relatively invisible. So for the most part, they're not going to have any idea what's going on or that anything is going on when you're doing a scan and clean. And when it's just simply the agent is live and nothing's happening, it really uses hardly any resources, usually around 7 megs, or I'll say 5 to 7 megs of memory at rest. So hardly noticeable at all. As we go into the software tab, we see a lot of information, what processes are running, what's in the startup, things that we can't load up, baby. We got a little bit of a hiccup here. There we go. Right, can see stuff in my startup here. I can highlight this stuff now and I can disable it. So maybe I don't want that printer. I don't know what this goes to, but one of my printers here, I can disable that so it's not in the startup program at all. I can see a list of my installed software. So here's my 5.9 manager. Right now I can basically run an add removed program type situation where I can eliminate this from a specific machine. You're not going to be able to uninstall every single program. It has to be silent uninstallable, and if it is, you'll be able to uninstall it from here. And then one of the new features now for the cloud, you won't see this in the on-prem, is the capability to actually install a couple of different kinds of software from here. So VLC, Evernote, Dropbox, we can push out Chrome, Java stuff, and anything that we put into an MSI, we can install from Dropbox. So it does give you some nice capabilities to be able to do stuff here. Can't install CCleaner, though, because you need the CCleaner agent installed to be able to do this. So that's where you see that conspicuously missing. Yeah.
So are these functions, right? I'm assuming you can apply a policy, so you could push out to a whole group at once, and not just do it individually, correct?
Not yet, but that's on the next on the docket for one of the next releases.
Okay, because right, I mean, that's the beauty of the on-prem version, right? Is that
The on-prem product actually will not let you push out software like that. So that's not a feature.
Oh, not push out software, but I'm saying, you know, some of the functions. I mean, right? The basic premise of CCleaner Cloud and CCleaner on-prem is that if you use the centrally managed version, you're pushing it out to your environment, right? Or to the groups as you want.
Yeah. So as far as running mass cleans and scans, absolutely. The ability to even uninstall software across a group is in the on-prem product coming to the cloud product, and then the ability to add software in mass is coming to the cloud product. I don't know that they have that on the docket for the on-prem product or not, Todd. We're looking for a roadmap there, and we'll be able to share that with everybody once we see it.
So the question is, like, you know, can you change the startup values, et cetera, to multiple PCs, or do you have to do that one at a time?
In the cloud product, you have to do it one at a time right now. In the on-prem product, you can do it in mass, so for a group.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff you can do here. Push out patches, right, is new. The ability to kind of run some trace information and find out if a machine is live and this kind of stuff. The ability to do a reboot. You've got those capabilities there. We hop into the options. Here's where we can start scheduling things to happen. So could change the name of that machine. Don't know why you do that. Right, enable local log on. You got some stuff there. We can check out events and talk about when are we going to get alerts on specific machines. So this is, again, something that is new to the cloud product that is not in the on-prem product, being able to get some of this information alerted to you. You can find out about it in the on-prem product, but you typically will have to run a report to get the information, which is an on-demand type situation. And then we've got our scheduled cleaning and scheduled defragging. Again, not recommending defragmentation on solid states, so that's an area where you might want to create a couple of different groups if you're starting to introduce solid state disk into the environment. So pretty easy product to try, pretty easy product to get up and running with a couple of agents installed. We can take a quick peek at the on-prem product here. I did not have my virtual guest turned on. We'll see if we can connect to this bad boy. Were there any other questions, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main questions you've answered in terms of, you know, why the cloud product versus the on-prem, and a lot of it is what are the differences, and I think even getting back to the, you know, CCleaner itself, why use it, right? Or why use a centrally managed version, right? I mean, so you can report and remediate and understand what's happening across your whole environment. The cloud just takes it to the next level. Now, is that, can you use those together? Can I use cloud and on-prem together?
Yeah, there's no conflict between the agents. The resource load would still be relatively unnoticeable, and you would be able to control them in their own respective ways without conflict or. But
it's two different interfaces to manage them.
Yep, it's two different interfaces for sure, and hopefully I can get logged onto this machine. I'm just experiencing a little bit of a glitch here. There we go, with remote desktop. And so in the on-prem product, you know, it also going on-prem versus cloud, and this is not just related to CCleaner. You know, if you have Java issues and this kind of stuff, typically on-prem applications are not going to cause you to experience those. This can be run, we have this, as you can clearly see, installed in a Windows 7 environment, which this was all we had available when we first started testing CCleaner over 4 years ago. And once we decided that it was a great product that we wanted to have on our line card, we really just never moved it from this machine. This can very easily, though, run on some other shared server. I like to have it on an always-on machine, just so that as it's needing to run the schedule for doing scans and that kind of stuff, it is available, and I don't have to worry about coming in and getting this thing turned off. We still have this guest off after doing patches on Friday, so we probably actually missed running the CCleaner Scan on Friday night, which I especially like doing after big patch jobs, because I find that they leave behind really just a ton of temporary files. So on the on-prem product, we'll let this kind of finish getting started there. There we go. We're just going to launch the management console, and a lot of the stuff that you're going to see is going to look very similar. Obviously, it's application-based rather than cloud-based. That'll be your first clue. Still just a headless agent, so you're not going to see anything in your system tray that's going to fire up, even when we're doing a scan. The only way to really catch on either product that you're doing a scan is you really have to be looking at the task manager during the couple of minutes when that scan is actually running. Did I not actually click on that? Did I fall asleep over here?
I think you fell asleep.
No, it does happen. It does happen. I had an early morning with the dentist, so that gets you off track quite early there. We'll let this thing finish.
Well, I think if you demanded less opiates at your cleaning, you'd probably be a little sharper right now.
Well, the way the dental hygienist was abusing me, I mean, you need a little something to calm you down. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So here we go. So once we're in here, right, we can do a couple of different things. Identify the network. We can connect in with Active Directory and import our machines and our groups and this kind of stuff that way. You can see I actually do have my machine. It is listed as offline, so I did get the agent off. It's still listed here. I could redeploy out to my machine. I've got a couple different kinds of groups. No real technical reason to break machines out into different groups other than you want to have a different scan and clean policy. But you can see all the same rules and applications. If I do custom rules instead of default rules, I can come down here and make some changes. So maybe I want to get network passwords in there, or maybe I don't. I don't want to empty the recycle bin, so on and so forth. All my applications like to keep those pins in there, so we have Office 2010 deselected, right? And then we can save these to be our defaults, or we can just set it back to be defaults. And then it's really the same deal. Analyze and clean. You can see it runs pretty quick. Again, what we see is 1 to 2 minutes usually on the scan, and then 40% on the clean, and that seems pretty consistent over both products. You can see that this must have run because we've got some pretty low results, which is what we like, so not a lot of garbage in there. I can drill down into any machine and see the stuff that needs to be cleaned off. Still have the registry cleaner, have that tool section where I can come in and disable anything in the startup or re-enable it if that was a mistake, and then uninstall certain kinds of softwares. And again, very dependent on if it's a silent install, uninstall. So a lot of neat capabilities. This product is not the kind of thing that's going to change your security posture. It's probably not going to impact your life tremendously unless you're hearing slow machines, which we hear from tons and tons of folks. If you're spending any time at all going out there and really saying, running that free version or trying to figure out why does it take forever for this machine to log on or log off or restart or fire up Outlook or whatever, CCleaner should be your first attempt to speed that machine up. The thing that has really been an improvement for us, in addition to getting rid of that temp garbage, right, getting rid of the massive amounts of cookies that you're collecting, is running the registry cleaner. That's where I really see a big performance bump in being able to get those machines to start up and shut down much, much quicker. And the reason the shutdown is important is anytime you need to do a reboot, maybe your machine is running wonky, or you're just simply going home for the night, that shut up and start down can really save you quite a bit of time if it's nice and nice and quick.
And Pete, how often do you schedule to clean those the systems?
We do it weekly, Todd, and I would say, depending on the environment, and it takes so little time to do it that weekly is not going to break you. We've actually got a couple of customers that set it on startup for lab and educational machines. So every time that machine reboots, it's getting a scan and clean done. We were running it running it daily for a while when we first switched over to some of the cloud applications that we're currently using, just to ensure that our browsers are running pretty quick. On the servers, though, I still run it weekly, and then we do defragmentation monthly, which since we've been doing it now in an ongoing basis, actually happens pretty quick on all the machines. Previously we didn't do it at all until we really just didn't know what else to do to get a machine back to its speedy old self, and then it would take the whole weekend to do. Yep. Now it gets done typically, and I don't babysit it, but typically it looks like it gets done in under an hour on the big bulk of our machines, because we're keeping them in line. And that's where you really see the benefits, is just staying at a good baseline.
So what about how does CCleaner work relative to Windows Server and cleaning up Windows updates?
Yeah, so it does a great job. It actually took us a while before we tried it on a server, and when we put it on the first server, we saw about an 8 gig clean on the first scan, and what it really impacted was doing remote desktop, and that's how we connect to pretty much every server, is just using RDP, and I know a lot of our clients do that same thing, and we really noticed a big benefit on log in and log out. So when you need to log in real quick and check a dashboard, or clear an error, or see what's going on, or whatever, being able to get into that thing as quick as possible is fairly important for me, because I got a ton of stuff going on. So that was really the first thing that we noticed. Back when we were running small business server, we've since eliminated that. That was kind of the next box to get it running on, and that thing was really slow and pretty painful to administer. On that box, we cleaned off 17 gig of just temporary files, memory dumps, old crashes, this kind of garbage, old logs, this kind of stuff, and it really changed the life and the performance of that box tremendously. And so after we ran it on those first 2 machines, we were like, oh man, we're just going to do this everywhere. And where I really see the biggest cleaning happening, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, is after you do a patch run, which we do typically once a month on the first Friday of the month, and we're usually pushing out between 11 and 20 patches. Kind of depends on the machine, per machine, right? And any one of those patches has an issue or an error, that's going to leave stuff behind. I see Adobe leaves a lot of stuff behind, and we're able to go through and make some pretty significant disk space savings, and then keep that performance high after we do that. And if you're patching regularly, which you really need to be, that stuff is just going to amount to tons and tons of garbage. If your users are using the internet regularly, which pretty much everybody is, that amounts to tons and tons of temporary internet files and cookies, in addition to temp files. So a lot of headway and a lot of action can happen, just from that daily use, that over time, and doesn't even have to be that much time, really slows a machine down, right? And so that's part of the benefit of being able to do this in mass, and do it on a regularly scheduled basis.
Cool. All right. Anything else? We're approaching the bottom half of the hour. Any last thoughts before I take back over control?
If you are interested, talk to your productive rep. We can help you out with a special trial that'll actually allow you to do scanning and cleaning on a limited number of machines. The trial that you download from CCleaner is going to do the scan but won't actually do the clean. So we can help you out with that custom trial. We can help you out with a custom demo if you didn't see enough, or we can help you make a decision on which product would be most suited for your environment.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much, Pete, for a fantastic presentation, and thanks to everybody else. I'm going to leave you with a couple things, right? So here's some software that we love and we like to see bundled with CCleaner, right? Great endpoint solutions and some gateway with Sophos as well, and Sophos and Kaspersky. And we're also big fans of Malwarebytes, another kind of area, a niche area that can really be helpful if you're having some particular or want to eliminate malware to even a higher degree than you get from the traditional endpoint. So it's defense in depth. I think you look at combining CCleaner on-prem, CCleaner Cloud with you know, a number of these companies below, and you can really be positioning your environment to be more effective, more secure, and create a better overall environment for the end users and for your business. So that's all we got for today. So I say thank you very much for coming. We know a half an hour is a significant amount of time in your day. We really appreciate that. As Pete mentioned, the account execs will be following up. Chuck will be sending out your gift cards, so be on the lookout for those. And you know, if we can help you out in any way, please you know, let us know. Really appreciate it. I'm Todd Obert from Productive, along with Pete Greco, wishing you a fantastic balance of your day and week, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody.
All right, take care.